What's going on, ladies and gents? Jake, aka Countdown Ended, coming to you with a news update. That's right, it's Into Somewhere Update Edition. What's that? Who's that? It's Cody on 8316. Oh, he's there.
Give me a hell yeah! Introduce me first, but I interrupted your introduction of me because I can do my own introduction because I am the real host of the show because I am you, aren't I? According to some.
Not only are you everyone, but now you're coming through crystal clear. You know, we got you in HD audio, so it's only going to get better as we figure out how to use our equipment more and more. But at least
Next big step, getting that piece.
We need to get you on PC away from mobile so we can avoid all the pitfalls that is mobile disasters. Granted, there's a lot of discourse going on. You brought this to my attention earlier with
about SmackDown and TNA, which are both today, right?
Absolutely, and we're going to be covering TNA Emergence. We're going to be live for the review tonight once TNA goes off the air. But if you guys want to hang out with us in the Discord, you might be listening to this audio right now. We're in there. Go ahead, check out Twitter at Countdown Ended, at Judgment Day Era. Go ahead, look at our profiles, click the Discord link, and come watch TNA with us. It starts at 8 p.m., so we got about an hour and a half in real-world time, breaking the fourth wall. But you brought me a bit of drama to my front door before, my good man, with your girl, the one, the only, the one you're paid to represent, Liv Morgan. And
apparently paid. That's what they say, but I wish I was paid because as I said, if she's paying people, I should be up there, no?
You should be damn well up there. I mean, with all the stuff that you have posted, your stories are never ending. I'm telling you, you got all the live goods. But we got news today that was, I don't want to say disappointing because that's not accurate, but it's not the best of news. Granted, it's not the worst either. I mean, it really could have gone both ways, and now we're hearing, as you mentioned earlier, Liv Morgan will be returning tentatively from John Pollock reporting yet again that she'll be there for early 2026, and speculation runs wild. Does that mean the Rumble? Is she in the Rumble? Is she gonna win the Rumble?
Here's all my answers to that, not to interrupt you, but
go right ahead.
Could it be ruse just to get people shocked for when she returns? Maybe. Yeah, it definitely could be. Are we going to buy the story? You don't have to. Are we going to call Mike Johnson a reliable source? Maybe, but like he is the guy that reported Seth Rollins' injury, and that ended up being work when he said it wasn't. So all of that.
Yeah, he reported that first.
You can speculate all that.
He absolutely told everybody that Seth was not really injured, that this is a work, that, you know, he was told that this exact thing was going to happen. And even I didn't believe it. I was like, it seems like it's legit. I don't know why they would lie.
I believe Mike Johnson actually said that it wasn't a work.
Oh, Mike Johnson. No, I was talking about John Pollock. Sorry. We're crossing streams here. But yeah, you know, see, no, I misheard you, my good man. And, you know, Mike, he could be right, but John's been very accurate. He's saying she's coming back 2026. That seems to be the case, and
one of the
I'm okay with
reliable people in the community, Corey Hayes.
Yeah,
he said that Liv Morgan is expected to be back in January. He said that was always the plan after the surgery, so he's kind of saying that things didn't really change, I guess.
Yeah, it's still. They were hopeful before the surgery happened that maybe it wouldn't be as bad as seen, you know, with the scans and whatnot. And
you wanted to clarify something on one of the big question marks about this. I know.
Yeah.
I'm interrupting you again, but you said, and I discussed this about the whole some expected her to be in Raw in Canada this past Monday.
You very randomly.
probably it meant by that. I don't think WWE expected it.
No, I don't think they expected her to be there. Apparently, she was being evaluated in Canada by a specialist, and it seems to be that, like, oh, they could have gotten her evaluated anywhere. Why have to do? Because they're specialists with specialties that have expertise. I made that simple little comparison to you before, but it really holds a lot of weight. Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, the Avengers Hawkeye, was crushed by his gigantic snowplow like Bobcat. And it looks like tank treads that ran over him, broke like a third of the bones in his body, and his eye was out of his face. He had to roll over on the ice so that his eye would be on ice, so he thought he could save it. When he got to the hospital, the doctor that was in charge of the emergency medicine at that point was basically not giving him a good prognosis. He's like, we're going to do all we can, but you're going to lose the foot, possibly the whole leg. You might lose an arm. Like, you might be in a wheelchair. We don't know. It's bad. And by happenstance, a doctor there that specializes in titanium reconstruction and these type of crush injuries. There's a lot of skiing accidents and a lot of crush injuries up there. He happened to be in Vegas or near that, wherever they flew him at that point in time. So they're about to wheel Renner off for surgery. He's going to lose some limbs at the very least, maybe his life. And this doctor's like, wait, let me see him. I can save not only his limbs, but him as well. So let's, and now he's walking, talking, 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 feet, 10 toes.
Amazing story.
Yeah, but the point is, the other doctor was not a bad doctor. He didn't suck. He wasn't worse. He was giving him the scope of which he could practice medicine. And that's why it's practicing medicine, because you're never perfect. It's always a practice. It's an ebb and flow.
Ever since WWE, WWF has been a thing, they've had a history of making sure their talent goes to the most top doctor for what their injury is.
They want them. They're gonna no expense be damned. We're gonna let our stars be well taken care of. And
I know it was different scenarios, but like Jerry Lawler, he didn't know that he didn't get free because his surgery wasn't covered in Canada because he made a stupid tweet like, I thought Canada had free healthcare, but that's for its citizens. But he had a surgery done in Canada.
Yeah.
And he's an American citizen. So I think people were just saying, why would she go get evaluated in Canada when she's an American citizen?
Sports medicine is very difficult because you're not just trying to repair the limb. You need to make it better than what it was before, essentially, by because it needs to be able to function. It's not, with athletes, they're putting constant damage and wear and tear and just this grind that they put their bodies through, the callus that they develop, the thickness and the
even if the
bump card.
Small or big, every probably wrestler on that roster that's taking bumps has some small injury of some sort, but that's kind of how wrestling works.
You know what's shocking?
You kind of need to get it better.
Bianca Belair is not wrestling right now because she broke her finger at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, she broke a finger? You've got to be kidding me. Well, guess what? It doesn't bend. It doesn't work.
Some people do forget about that because Bianca Belair, and that's been like almost 4 months now.
Yeah.
And people are saying Liv should be back by a separated shoulder. And I believe a separated shoulder is worse than a broken finger.
Exactly. So the issue with her right now is that she can't close her hand and make a fist because the finger stays locked up as it is. So that's very dangerous for...
And she's not on weekly TV either because she has more of a reason to be on weekly TV with a broken finger than Liv does with a separated shoulder. And I appreciate Liv's fandom wanting her back soon. So do I. So does Jake. I think everyone wants Liv back.
Absolutely.
Liv Morgan is awesome. Me.
She's great.
I Liv Morgan ride or die,
I have thoroughly enjoyed her since she joined WWE. And you can go back to the old streams, the NXT stuff, and she maximized her minutes much like Chelsea does. What can I do to be different? All right, pink hair, blue tongue. All right, I'm going to be crazy and zany. She made herself stand out. That's how you ingratiate yourself with fans. That's how you make a lasting connection.
I'm different from everyone else. She doesn't need
Absolutely.
a nickname coming out. She doesn't need any of that. Like,
No,
you got the Viper, and she doesn't need to be like everyone introduced with a nickname first. She's Liv Morgan, and she'll show you why she's different from everyone else.
she doesn't need to be let go, fired, and brought back in 100 times either, you know?
More about, like, the Liv Morgan situation. So I want to know your full-on take because, again, like how people are saying, why can't she be an on-screen role being like Dom's manager, basically, or something like that?
Yeah.
So what would you say? Because Bianca Belair is not really weekly either, and she has a broken finger.
Yes.
Which you can probably be more on weekly TV with a broken finger than.
So you actually made a very good rebuttal to my thought here earlier, and I don't even think you realized how great it was, but you made a very stellar point to my argument, almost dismantling it, almost, but not quite. You still got a ways to learn, young Jedi. I went ahead and I was very surprised because you were like, hey, you know, people that are, you know, injured and then they come back. It's like they are not having people be injured and on TV still. They're not. And I was telling you this for whatever reason. If you're injured now, if you got a story going on, it's being put on hiatus or on hold or whatever. It's getting changed. It's getting dropped. And they're moving on without you. You can come back and find your place again, but they're just picking up the pieces and the story carries on. And you were like, well, what about CM Punk? He was injured but the thing was, CM Punk had been away for 10 years at that point, almost, if not that long. And he was
absent again, maybe. Like,
he just
returned.
He faced Dom on Christmas Eve, and then he goes to the Rumble. And he then gets immediately injured and is out until SummerSlam? But he managed to stay in the mindset and, again, maximizing his minutes. What he could do was talk, and he could deliver. But there's a I don't want to say like, oh, CM Punk is a bigger star, because that's not the point. Liv's a gigantic star. The thing was, people were clamoring for the return of CM Punk, and as soon as they got it, it was taken away from them unfairly.
Oh, they were like, right when he's ready to come back, they immediately wanted him back. They were
immediately, and then he gets injured. Everybody's gloating on the AEW side.
There's other people too, Rhea Ripley, Dominic, because remember Dominic had some. Tommy, he was reportedly going to get some elbow surgery.
Yeah, Tommy John's, and
he said no surgery for this guy. Remember, he put that out, but like he was injured though, nonetheless, and he was on weekly TV. But the difference is, I guess, there that he didn't have surgery done.
Yeah,
did Rhea Ripley have surgery done? Because people say her too. She was injured.
Yeah, when Liv hurt her shoulder backstage, she had surgery. So.
And like people said, she came back. I don't know if she.
Hers was a different kind of injury, though. That's the thing. Like, there's so many different types and issues, and where and location, degree of separation and severity.
Right?
Yeah, they waited until she was ready to get her. I
remember the whole scenario where Liv and Dom were, doing something in the ring, or we're about to. I don't know where that was going.
Dom just beat his dad with the help of Liv, and that was massive.
And that's, I think, what got Dom to almost officially fold.
Yeah,
is that the call?
That's when he went ahead and gave in to the Liv love machine. Dirty.
So I don't know what else we can discuss on. I'm trying to.
Well,
they're trying to give you like a debate here.
That's the thing, though. I really think it is just very cut and dry. People want her back. We all do, but you got to be realistic. You cannot rush this, because then the mindset that people had, they still have it. Because when you're gone, you're not on the show. You're going to lose your spot, you feel like, and it sucks. But
Jake and I discussed this before we streamed. He was even saying, I hope this is some sort of ruse and work, and she's back soon. Like, people's speculations right now are still Triple Mania, which is tomorrow, right? And
yes, and I would bet my left nut that that's not happening, and Clash isn't happening either, especially now with the news.
I tried to argue with you like the Triple Mania is their WrestleMania.
Yeah, but it's still
Yes,
not a big
but
deal to
not
WWE
all of the
fans.
WWE audience.
Yeah, they've only warmed up to Mr. Iguana. They haven't fallen in love with AAA, so it's going to take a lot to get more eyes over that way, especially with all the commercial breaks.
People will be mad and say, "Well, so you made us all miss Liv Morgan's return." kind of
For
thing.
what? A commercial break? Besides Liv, one of the things I want to get into here is the counter programming discussion that's going on has just been a bit ridiculous. Tony Khan, I think it was a little over a year ago. He was with Tony Schiavone. They did a promo where he was talking about Nick Khan, saying there's only room for one Khan and not the Khan man from CT. Kind of, he's like, we are the competition. We are the, AEW is breathing life into wrestling, and we're gonna. And then when they actually do things to be competition, you cry and complain when all they're doing is putting a program up against yours. They're not blocking you from being at pay-per-views. They're not. Well, guess what? News today, besides just the counter programming, is that WWE has an option to purchase TNA Wrestling. Something Vince had uttered he would never agree to or look into. And especially when they had their financial troubles and it was really, really bad with Dixie, Dave Meltzer is saying that there's multiple sources confirming their working agreement with TNA is similar to the deals previously offered to European independent promotions. So this provision gave WWE an option for a certain length of time to buy TNA, and they can also use the TNA roster for their contracts, so it means that any potential buyer would not have to be friendly with WWE, because if not, WWE could simply match the offer and purchase the company themselves. So if they don't buy it, they're going to have somebody buy it. Yeah, they're going to have somebody buy it that benefits them. And if it's not somebody that they can control and have them fall in line,
wasn't going to benefit them, because look what he did to ROH.
Mm-hmm.
He killed that shit.
And the TNA partnership has been great. It's been very exciting. I've liked it. And, UFC owner Lorenzo has been big on it.
TNA is probably going to get a TV deal with the CW network under WWE's vision and stuff like that. And that's TNA possibly the second biggest company. AEW's going downhill, and I'm sorry if you like AEW, but it's really just going downhill. I know that AEW fan base is the most biased fan base ever. No wrong can be done with AEW, and everything's just pitch perfect on that.
With the sickos especially, and the counter programming thing to me, yes, is people, is it petty? No. Why would you not put something up?
We talked about the food industry. Here we go again. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, they're all competing, and they're going to all put their asses right next to each other.
Exactly.
KFC, Popeyes. I know there's a KFC and Popeyes right next to each other. They're competitors. They're going to compete. Outback, Longhorn, they're competitors. They're going to compete, and that's why they're right next to each other.
You nailed it. Coca-Cola is not bitching because, oh my God, Pepsi is being served at that sports place. No, Coke's going to up their contracts and buy them out. Exactly. Come on, that's how it works. And
Coca-Cola is under the McDonald's umbrella, and Pepsi's not going the same. But I wanted to be with McDonald's. This is not fair.
AEW needs this like WWE needed the Attitude Era. They need the forced nature of being put into an uncomfortable and what seems like an unwinnable scenario. Backing them into a corner should make AEW dangerous. It should make these guys aren't hungry anymore. They started off as hungry and bloodthirsty, talented, creative and unique characters who were not portrayed fairly, popularly, or really justifiably so utilized well in other companies. especially WWE, but TNA, Ring of Honor, whatever it might be. And a lot of the people had names, but they had a lot to prove. WWE and Cody, he had memorable moments, when his first run. But he had to leave. He had to grow, and we've seen this, and we've seen what came of it. That drive to achieve something more is excellent. And instead of bitching about it, I wish AEW would be like, oh well, instead of booking a 10-person cage match on my show, I mean, where is everybody gonna fucking stand? It's not even like the super cage. It's a lights out. So you're already having a lights out match, which is, it's not sanctioned, it's not recognized, it's just a brutal, brutal, brutal affair. But then you got everybody in a cage, and now you're teaming people up that weren't originally teamed, and it's like, so why do we even care about this to fight for it? And I want a reason to care. MJF has had his Money in the Bank ripoff now, since All In. He's went ahead and, I'm going to make Hangman give me a title match without cashing in. It should have happened. And then MJF could have lost. And
remember, you posted the video of Tony Khan going at Nick Khan, and there's only one real Khan in the wrestling business and all that.
You fucking Mark.
His post-show scrums or whatever for his pay-per-views, how many times has he said, we are competition to WWE, and we are, but when WWE wants to go compete with you,
we're great.
No offense to people like this, you guys are great. Santi Zap, Con Man, no offense to you guys, but you go on there and say this needs to stop. Explain why.
Why does it need to stop,
Why does it need to stop, Santi? Come on, tell me why. I know sometimes I feel like it's just, again, no offense to them, fake outrage. Please give it a reasonable reason why it needs to stop. You guys are big wrestling YouTubers, so you're going to be like, okay, we need our little handshakes with AEW so we can get into their shows and etc. That's why they defend AEW like that.
It's a very pejorative mindset and outlook to have on things, and that constant victim mentality.
I know they won't.
They're making it seem derogatory in a way, like, counterbooking is just as bad as being a rapist, And
I know you like con man and stuff, but like, again, no offense. I want to know why it needs to stop. You don't just tweet that out without your reasoning.
Without something.
Give us a good reason why it needs to stop.
So loud. Not you. The volume X button apparently in my soundboard has gone off twice now, and it's hilarious, and it's definitely going to jar the audience. But I'm excited to see these shows. We're going to get John Cena at Bad Blood taking on Brock Lesnar. Love it or hate it, it's going to be a spectacle. And then we're now getting John Cena's last match, not at Saturday night's main event, but at a PLE up against, what is it, World's End or Revolution? World's End, I believe it was.
It was going to be Saturday night's main event.
It was supposed to be, but now they're counterbooking again. So they're adding a show, and they've had several examples of it so far with their counterbooking.
Oh, and if you're saying my mic's loud, I'm making sure I'm loud and clear, baby, for the first show. So.
Yes, indeed. No, it wasn't you. It was my soundboard that went off and scared the hell out of me with the X effect. And
so you're gonna scare the audience. Uncut here.
Uncut and cut and circumcised. But well, Spaz will be there, as we said. He's gonna be at All Out in Toronto.
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto.
That's right. I like the counterbooking. I like having all this wrestling on. I like having a choice. WWE is not firing on all cylinders either right now. They're very hot. They're very over, but it's not great.
People are saying WWE is doing this because they're afraid of AEW. But if they were afraid of AEW, would they be the ones running away and putting their shows on a different night?
For years, besides raising initial contracts to keep people from jumping ship, they really have paid no attention to AEW at all whatsoever. And then Tony keeps going,
says WWE's upset with them. But WWE is probably more mentioned than AEW on AEW programming. So
you nailed it. I mean, how many times have we seen now where they get these comments coming out and it's like, oh, we've got to go ahead and stop the bully WWE from, doing these evil tampering ways. And it's like they're booking a show. And you went ahead, Tony, and ran the longest show in wrestling fucking history just to make sure that it would go ahead and, counter Goldberg's retirement. So I don't want to hear it. You did the same damn thing that they did to you in the same way. You kept your show on for 19 hours.
But
no wonder why Cody's 107 years old this week.
I have a question with this, though. When AEW's counterbooked, did Conman Santi tell everyone this needs to stop?
No, and I don't dislike Santi. I'm not a follower of his. I don't watch what he puts out usually. It's not a slight on him. It's just not a content creator that I'm overly familiar with.
I know you like Conman. That's why I'm saying with all
Conman, he's not even someone that I watch regularly either. I've talked to him quite a few times on here, and he's a very nice person. And congrats again on the wedding, bud. And hopefully he's doing well. But personal nature aside, you got to have at least a reason or justification why you're saying WWE can't have these shows. Like, give us something here. Give me something to bite on. Tell me why it's bad.
Make a video about it. You guys are content creators. Enough with the lazy ass sentence tweets like this needs to stop. Make a video about it. Give us detail because you sure know your shit saying it needs to stop. So
exactly.
Again, no, with all due respect to you guys, I watch Shanti, so I don't want to hate on him too much. But without the personal like for him, aside, I want to just know what the reasoning is. I call out people. You know how I am. I'll call it out when it's not good.
Exactly.
When you're taking it, I'm going to call it out as well.
You need to. And we've said it both ways.
On our show, so it's no offense to them.
Exactly, but we're also not blind hating either. We really go ahead and try to look at things not like a positive lens, but like a more analytical way. Instead of just being like, "This fucking sucked." It's like, well, this wasn't enjoyable, but here's what they can do to make it better. Here's what could change. Like, we try to be constructive with criticism. It's not just attacking them. And a couple low-level wrestlers have said thank you for doing that type of content.
Counterbooking is such an issue, and you can't have shows on the same night. NXT was on Wednesdays first, correct?
Yes, so, and then it got moved to Tuesdays. Yes, that's correct.
They moved, yes, because what day did Dynamite when they first aired put their shows? Was it Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday?
Originally it was Tuesday Night Dynamite, and then all of a sudden, when NXT went on USA, they went to Wednesday. That's weird. Why would they wouldn't counterbook, right?
I had an account before 2019 that likes AEW, so I had to look at all their tweets saying this is ridiculous, and there's no indication of them saying or complaining about it. So
exactly, people being truly compassionate about this issue in the sense of being like, no, counter programming is ridiculous. They need to stop. You got to step away.
People forgot AEW started it, because they want on WWE's NXT night.
And that's not always, you can't be like, oh, an eye for an eye. They started it. We have to. I get your point, but even still, regardless, it's a far cry from
I'm just more
what it was in the 80s.
When AEW did it originally, why didn't anyone complain?
Exactly. No, they celebrated it. Oh my God, they're telling all the people in WWE suck, and they keep. How many times
they called it the Wednesday Night Wars?
Yep.
AEW fans said this is going to be the Wednesday Night Wars when AEW did it first, but when WWE counter programs, it's
tampering. It's
yep.
So, well, we're going to have a busy night tonight, folks. Hopefully, if you're listening to it on the Friday the 15th, that's right, not the 13th, you can go ahead and watch TNA Emergence with us for free tonight in the Into Somewhere crew Discord for free. That's right. So go ahead and follow the link on our Twitter/X and come hang out with the Into Somewhere crew. We'll be there watching TNA Emergence, hanging out with you guys. And then afterwards, we'll be with Spez and Cody and possibly a few other guests. We'll see who tunes in to go ahead and review the TNA Emergence show we just watched with you guys. So if you caught it, go ahead and join us. If you didn't, pay attention to the future, because that's why you should be following both Cody and I on our socials. So check out in the description box down below where you can follow Cody, where you can follow me, get all the details, make sure you're subscribed, and I hope each and every one of you sexy people go ahead and not just stay sexy, but have a great evening. We out. See you in the Discord.